how talented he is. He's come back from 2 sets of love against, I think he might be the only one or two, the only people that have ever come back against Roger, 2 sets of love down. So I mean, the guy has some ability when he's behind to play some great tennis, and so I didn't want to let off that at all. It wasn't a statement saying I'm back or anything like that. It's just I knew I had to play that well to win, and even if the scoreline doesn't show it, that match definitely could have changed. If I just get a little tense in that last service game, I think I made three first serves to close it out. So I know it could have gone the other way, and that's the only statement I was making, was that I knew I had to play well. Today was a whole level better than I played yesterday. I know that, and it had to be.
With that said, what does a win like this do for your sense of self?
It helps a lot. I've been playing well the last few weeks, and I've just come up against guys that were playing great. Isner in Atlanta was serving unbelievable. I think he had 30 aces in 3 sets. Del Potro last week was playing well, but both those matches I felt like I played well. And it's a little different kind of tennis when you're playing Isner than when you're playing Nalbandian. You get into points, you get a chance to hit some balls and get into some rallies and get rewarded for playing really well point after point, as opposed to Isner. It sometimes doesn't matter how well you play, he's going to take the racket out of your hand. So I really felt good with the fact that what I was controlling, I was doing well. Sometimes you play guys that take the racket out of your hands and take the control away from you, and if all goes according to plan, I'll have another match like that Thursday when I get to possibly play Isner, and it'll be another time when I got to just kind of keep plugging away and look for my opportunities and take advantage then, and that's really all you can do against him.
You just talk about your ability. You looked like you were really close in on the baseline. Quick reactions on the backhand return in particular. Yeah,
that's what I need to do. And I think if you look at my 2 matches that I played against Nalbandian, I've won them both in straight sets, and I think if all the times I hear about people saying I play too aggressive and I can't win playing aggressive like that, if they would want to just take a look at both of those matches and see that there's no chance I could beat David Nalbandian playing passive tennis, playing back behind the baseline, playing defense, letting him dictate, and just using my athleticism to run down balls. I just physically can't. I'm not good enough to in that manner. So if I'm playing aggressive, that's my only chance of beating top guys, beating guys that are going to play like that. And that's what I have to play. I'm going to lose a couple matches against guys maybe I shouldn't because I'm being aggressive, but in the long run, I know I need to do that if I'm going to reach my potential. So I did that tonight, and it makes it easier sometimes when you're playing against a guy you have that much respect for, because you almost feel like you have nothing to lose. If I lose to him, there's nothing to hang my head in shame. Just go out there and do your best, and there's a chance he can come out there and play too good. I know, even though I don't feel like he had his rhythm tonight, there were 5, 6, 7 times out there I had to just say too good. He played a great point, and it was just too good. And luckily, I took advantage of my chances and got the best of him tonight. But I know it could have gone the other way.
You mentioned that he was out of his rhythm. Did you notice that early? He didn't look like himself tonight. When you see that, does that give you extra confidence, thinking this is going to be your night?
Well, early on it definitely seemed that way, and I noticed that the balls do fly here, so I think there's something to be said for me getting a match under my belt already and seeing how much it feels like the balls are lighter or something, and they're flying a little more. And at the beginning I noticed he was having trouble with that too, so that helped me, but it definitely felt like he got a little more grooved at the end of the match, and that's sort of the way I felt last night too, is that I was struggling a little early on. Luckily I was playing someone that maybe didn't have as much experience as a David Nalbandian, but towards the end of the match, the last 3 or 4 games I played yesterday, I felt great, and I felt like the ball was starting to feel really good coming off my racket, and that was definitely a good indicator for today, because it continued throughout today's whole match. And I think it took David a similar amount of time. It took him about a set until he really started feeling the ball and making me work a lot harder and moving me a lot better and feeling the returns better too. So I recognized that he was having trouble, and I just did my best to keep the streak going, keep putting the pressure on him, keep him thinking, because I knew if he got into a rhythm, it was going to be a dogfight again.
It seemed like your serve was on extra special tonight. It seems like you had that extra on and pop to it. Is there a difference in the way you're approaching that while you're getting it?
No, I just have confidence in it for some reason. That's the best I've served in probably 2 years. Tonight was I don't know what it is about David that brings it out of me, but I served great against him last time I played him. I served great tonight, and like I said, I think the balls are a little lighter. They're flying, which it's probably not the most ideal situation for me to be playing Isner next, but it is what it is, and I think they're flying through the air. It's giving it a little more pop. It's getting them to bounce up a little more and making it a little more difficult to return. I was lucky enough to get looks at a lot of second serves tonight. David wasn't serving his best, and I was taking advantage of that. And that's probably going to be my only chance against Isner, is take advantage when I get a couple second serves, and because the balls are really moving, and maybe against him we'll make my serve a little more effective, and we'll be looking at a few more tiebreakers.
Is there anything you can do to prepare for a match against Isner in that serve? Do you have anybody you like to return serves with, or do they stand in a different place, or what?
Well, I've played him so many times in practice. We've only played once on tour, but we practice together. We're practically neighbors. Last time I was home, I was eating breakfast at his house just about every morning, and he's taking so much food out of my fridge. I think he owes me a few $1,000s. But we live right around the corner from each other. We practice together so often that I've seen his serve a million times, and it doesn't get any easier. So there's no better way to prepare besides playing him. And even that, there's nothing you can do. Sometimes you got to just guess. It's playing him, playing Karlovic, playing Kevin Anderson. Some of those guys, you got to just guess. And if you guess wrong, bad luck. Move on to the next point. And if you guess right, it's still not easy. So I'll just go out there. And the only thing you really need to do is keep your head, keep focused, and realize that you might only get one or two opportunities throughout a whole match, and do your best to take advantage of those.
James, it's been a pretty successful hard-court season so far for American men. Marty Fish, John Isner, Ryan Harrison, and yourself. Do you guys all feed off that, and does that help motivate you?
Yeah, I mean, we all get along so great. I think I've heard stories of generations past of Americans that didn't get along and really used sort of their dislike for each other as fuel to make it so they wanted to be better than their compatriots. But for us, we want to do well because we all want to do it together. And I've had so much fun coming up through the ranks, coming up through the challengers and everything with Marty Fish, Andy Roddick, Robbie Ginepri, Taylor Dent. We've had a great time. The Bryans have been around all the time. Obviously a little different than playing doubles, but we've had so much fun. And now seeing young guys do well. I mean, I love seeing Isner do well, and Sam Querrey, and Ryan Harrison, and Donald Young, and we all just get along great. And I don't know what sort of spawned it, but I think part of it was the fact that when we came through challengers, it's something you do together. Maybe those other guys in years past would just go straight to the tour level and they had their whole crews around them, but at challengers, we were 8 deep at Applebee's, just kind of scrapping to get by, two or three people in a room, and just sort of trying to scrape out a living to make it to this level. So then when we made it to this level, that bond is a lot stronger when you've sort of been through that level. And so we all get along, and I'm happy to see these guys doing well. And I still talk to Sam a lot. He's coming on the comeback trail, starting to hit again. We're happy to see him when he gets back, and I don't know what else there is to say about it, but we all feed off each other, but it's in a caring way. I mean, I was really happy to see. I was out there playing, and throughout almost my whole match, Ryan Sweeting, Alex Kuznetsov, and Phil Simmons were sitting front row watching, and I don't think you see that in too many other countries where the guys are just supporting their other players. I think Sweeting's got to play tomorrow. It's great to see, and it makes me feel good that they want me to do well, and I feel the same about them.